Combine is never complete unless you force Stacey Dales from the NFL Network to sit down with us. And
I thought you never ask. It's Friday.
My strategy every year, this is my 4th Combine, and so my strategy is to stand by Stacey Dales and learn how to ask good questions. And then while she's asking good questions, then I just jump and just add on top. So she was asking like baseball questions. So I jumped right in there and what's your favorite baseball player? Just piggyback off of her amazing journalism.
No, okay, so do you guys not find that, thanks, but you ask great questions. We've had this conversation, but do you guys not find that part of this event at the Combine, with all this, incoming sort of talent and explosion, we need to know about these guys. They want to tell their stories. And so, Carson Beck was a really good baseball player and probably could have played in the major leagues. And I just grabbed him and I'm like, how fast, remind me, was your fastball? 96 miles per hour. And so this is a quarterback we're going to see working out tomorrow. And then, you grab a guy like Denzel Boston, who's one of our top receivers going to be taken. And how would you describe your catch radius? Because his hands are incredible. And he's like, a vacuum. Like, those are things that I come here for, and that's what gets me juiced. And then the baseball stuff is like, if you played baseball and you were pretty good, you're probably this incredible athlete and can do some transition of that onto a football field in terms of your skill set.
Yeah, Mark fell in love with Lee Hunter because he bought his brother's 2 18-wheeler semi-trucks.
Well, how often do you hear a guy talk about, I got my brother a couple of 18-wheelers? I'm like, what did you just say? That's amazing.
He has 4 follow-ups.
Well, I used to work in the transportation field. Stacey, I was explaining that to Adam as a transportation broker.
Bizarre.
The worst transportation broker ever. Shout out D&D Transportation. But that was interesting to me. But I think maybe this is a little too big of a leap, but since you are an athlete, I think the athletic part of these guys also just maybe interests you more than it might for perhaps somebody who is working here that can't make a layup, which is a lot of those out here.
Like Greg.
Okay, slow down now. I ain't catching strays on layups.
There is a big part of me that is, my mind just goes to that space as a former basketball player, because I did play all these sports growing up, and I was a better soccer player than I was a basketball player and all that stuff. But I do think it matters when you get to this level how elite you are. And, you had to have these multitude of backgrounds, whether for some of these guys it was lacrosse or soccer or baseball or basketball. Okay, Sonny Styles, do we agree he blew us away?
Yeah.
Blew us away. The videos he sent me of him playing basketball from, the single digits of his life through his teens, and watching him absolutely dominate on the court and us to be able to get those in, there's no mistaking he lived above the rim. And I mean, what is he going to become as a pro? I mean, he's like Fred Warner times, in terms of his athleticism, 10.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
So it's really cool when you see that kind of cross-pollination athletically.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, since we're talking about good questions, I asked Stacey a bad question earlier in the week because because it's been 2 weeks since the Super Bowl, and I was like, "Did you get any time off?" And you're like, "No, I've been cramming for the Combine for 2 weeks." That was a stupid question by me, but seriously, you got to do a lot of just prep for this week to do all those interviews on the fly that you guys are doing.
She has a stack of flashcards this high, and I'm always like, all right, how do I steal these?
I'm not gonna lie, when I got up this morning I had a few mother effers in there in my in my routine, because it is the hardest event I do.
Yeah,
I've worked at Olympics before, I've worked crazy weird sports in my career, and Super Bowls obviously, humbly, but this is the hardest one, because you guys know this, we're here together. I mean, it's 4 to 4.5 hours of players all morning, every day, Wednesday through Saturday, and then it's 5 to 6 hour shows every day, Thursday through Sunday. And then we are going through the content after the show for the next day's show. So we're up until midnight, my producer and I, Laura Chapnick, every single day, and it's just an absolute.
We were actually, this came up at dinner last night because the cool thing about being here at the Combine is if you're not over at the stadium, it's on every TV wherever you are.
Yeah.
I think we were at Harry and Izzy's just having a happy hour last night, and I'm so impressed with the production of it. in all seriousness, because it's just like the amount of graphics you guys have ready on the fly, just the amount of information. I mean, that's got to take months from some of the people behind the scenes.
It's incredible, actually. Our producer, Mark Titleman, does Thursday Night Football. So when you watch TNF, that's who's producing that game.
Okay.
Okay. But no, our entire group at NFL Network, and I'll tell you one thing. This is the last standing platform that our network has. And this is exclusive. And we've been taken over by ESPN, and we'll see what happens there. But, when we formed this week, Rich Eisen, we all speak in a meeting, and Rich Eisen basically stood up and said, this is our event. And so what you see, this is the NFL. And so we do take a lot of pride in it. And our trucks, our crew are incredible. Our graphics people, we pull the best from the entire network for this event. So thanks for saying that, because those guys deserve it, and ladies.
Yeah, because I think there was one I saw last night. It was like Sonny Styles comp to Megatron.
Yeah.
You guys put that graphic up. I'm like, how did they even think of that?
I don't even. I'm sitting there looking at my monitor, like my next report, and I'm like, how the hell did they turn that so quickly?
Yeah.
So I know that you do so much national work here, but obviously the amount of work you put into covering the Chicago Bears while you're roaming around here, is there a person that stands out to you, a player that fits what the Bears need? Did a light bulb go off for anybody like the Bears need this guy?
Well, with the pick at 25, if the defensive trenches are not addressed, that's for me, it's either got to be a defensive tackle or it's got to be an edge rusher. And I say that because it's specifically with the edge group that we have, it's very deep. I mean, our guru, DJ, he's got, I think, 8 edge in his top 50. And then the defensive tackles, I feel like because of that, I think they're going to be spread down through the low 20s a little bit into kind of the top of the second round. So a lot of those premium defensive tackles are going to be there. So I think the evaluation at 25, it has to be the value of a 25th type pick unless Ryan decides to move. But, I mean, I could rattle off a bunch of names. I love the defensive tackles. I thought they were incredibly fast on day one. I mean, when you talk about Caden McDonald and Peter Woods, who didn't work out, Christian Miller didn't work out, Lee Hunter, Caleb Banks worked out and is massive. I mean, I think, he's an interesting one because he missed most of last season. And so where does he fall? He is 6'6", 335. He moves like, I'm not going to say he's going to be Chris Jones, but this is Chris Jones physically, okay, from the Chiefs, all pro. And he models his game after Chris Jones. And he was used from the 0 to 9, 3 to 5, all up and down the defensive front at Florida. So, it'll be interesting to see, is Caleb Banks in a defensive tackle the direction, or is it one of these edge rushers that I could spend 1,000 minutes on?
Yeah, I agree with that's where I think they'll go. I hope it's the interior, but either way, it could work, obviously, if the guy can play. But what's your sense on the Bears' willingness to maybe take a talent that doesn't have a perfect background, maybe has some stuff? Because in the past, they wouldn't, for a while there, I think during the Flus era, it was a little more pigeonholed. But now, Luther Burden didn't have the ideal college career so as far as his perception coming up. He drops, the Bears take him. In the middle of the year, C.J. Gardner-Johnson pops into the room. I'm thinking maybe they'll be a little more risky that way. I don't know if you've had that thought.
That's a great question. Because the conversations that I've had with Ryan Poles, what he will go to the table on is the pre-draft process and, did this guy move him? Did this player, did he check all the boxes? Was he like Kyle Monungai, for instance? He's just a dream.
Perfect.
He's perfect.
Yeah.
Captain at Rutgers, 2-time whatever captain, and he's just amazing. With the off the field, I think it does really factor into what the Bears do. I really do, because knowing Ryan Poles, I think character is incredibly important for him, and I think he's got a head coach who's going to have a strong pulse on the entirety of the ship. So, but this seems like a pretty clean group actually in terms of the overall class. So I don't know if foreseeably those are going to be tremendous issues where they're picking.
I was going to say, there hasn't really been a lot of drama this year.
That's right.
I feel like every year there's the one combine story that just like, there was the Jalen Carter year that was like extreme, but there really hasn't been anything that popped up this week. I feel like that was
the stadium.
I was
except for the Bears stadium, yeah.
Yeah, there really hasn't. There's a couple little questions about Chris Brazzell, the wide receiver, and Zion Young has had a couple little deals. He's one of the edge rushers.
He called everyone big guy. When they
Zion?
He walked to the podium and I was like, I'd make a point to try to say good morning when they walk up, just like because everybody just like goes right into
Maybe
it.
he was referring to his quads.
And he's like, "What's up, big guy?" I'm like, "All right, slow down here."
What's the crazy?
And I'm not saying that they have all these issues. I'm just saying like when you study it and you research it, those are some little tiny things that you're just like, but. Sit down with them, talk with them.
So I haven't been on that side a lot this week because I've been chasing the stadium news and all this stuff. What's been like the craziest moment or question that's happened?
Oh, I don't know if the craziest questions to me are not like they're not. I haven't heard too many wild ones. It's like getting into super detail about like how's Matt Nagy going to use you in New York. Like,
and they have
like
no
assuming
idea.
he's going to get drafted to the Giants and he's going to be playing in that.
You're already on the Giants.
I do. You know, there's a lot of hidden sort of motive for a lot of us here. For my purposes, national to tell their stories nationally, but so you get a lot of that to work around.
Somebody asked a player if he knew Mike Vrabel. He's like, not really. You know, the one answer today, Ty Simpson was asked to recite the longest play call he ever did.
I heard that. I was there.
It was really impressive.
It was awesome. I love that moment.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
Same. Because guess what? He probably just recited that in a meeting last night to a team.
Right.
You got to pop out of here. So just one real last question on the Bears. What do you think is going to happen with DJ or Dexter or Tyson or anybody? Or I guess Tremaine is. I think everybody thinks is out the door. But what's your sense on any of those guys?
No, Tyson just popped in my head because they're obsessed with him. You guys know they're obsessed with Tyson Bagent. But I also know because of that they're going to do right by him. And if there's an opportunity for him to go somewhere, I think Ryan's going to support that, and so is Ben. The rest of the guys, I don't know. I don't like. There's Brisker. Did you mention
Yeah.
There's a lot of, and I think what we'll learn is we're going to learn how they feel when they draft, because their draft is going to largely show us what kind of direction they're going in terms of replacing with young talent, and this is still going to be a building roster, and after what they did last year, I'll tell you the buzz I've gotten around here. Like, honestly, I was on the field for the first day yesterday with all the scouts, and they know I covered the team a lot last season. The Bears are for real, Dales, aren't they? Mm-hmm. And holy cow. And I talked to a Rams person who saw the Bears in that last game. Like, look out for Chicago because they're coming at you.
How about the video? The ball was coming right at you.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, man.
So we talked to Cole in San Francisco about it.
I don't know if you guys know, I set that up.
Yeah.
I had it planned.
Oh,
you
told him sprint back 40 yards, just fire right. I'll be standing right here.
No, Caleb throws it to the left end zone, so it was in the right spot. But then I was just like, for shits and giggles, I'm just going to shoot this because this is a huge play. It's fourth and whatever it was. Yeah. And I'm like, wait a minute, is he going to get a safety? He's gone. Caleb's gone. And all of a sudden that ball is released, and that baby is, Cole was such a great baseball player, and he left me with that signature.
Straight into the phone.
He said he saw you and did it on purpose. Who catches that ball and thinks, let me get Dales, go viral right now?
Well, I love Cole, so I don't know. You know what? Let's throw him the ball more, okay?
I agree.
Great.
Thank you so much, Stacey.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it, Stacey.